Okay, now we have Kirby. This is like, uh, I don't know. This is like a lot of people's favorite character in Smash, or a lot of people's most hated character in Smash for some reason. I mean, there's like a lot of people on the more casual side of things that just think Kirby is outstanding, best character in the game. It's impossible to use anybody else but Kirby because Kirby just has the dominant position in the meta, which I think is kind of funny. But we'll get into all that. As far as Kirby's mobility on the ground, it's not bad. As you can see, his decent ground speed. But in the air, Kirby really moves slow. As you can see, this aerial drift is pretty slow for a character that wants to be in the air and has this advantage with multiple jumps, which is another thing. Kirby has multiple jumps, but Kirby can't really make great use of it just because the aerial mobility, the speed in which Kirby moves through the sky is very slow actually. So that's really unfortunate for the character design. This character is also really light, so you have to think that characters with very good up airs, Ivysaur, um, just characters that have very good killing up airs will be able to snipe Kirby easier than most characters because the mobility's just not there, and Kirby's gonna be in the sky a fair amount of the time. So, and that coupled with how light Kirby is, because Kirby's a very light character, means this character is gonna get killed very early. At least against characters that have those type of good options. I mean, the same holds true maybe for up smashes and that sort of thing, where you can still catch Kirby's landing. But I really think Kirby will struggle against characters which are faster than Kirby through the air, and have very good up airs, so they can just take him out really early and get a solid advantage. Okay, on to Kirby's aerials. So let's start with this up air. This up air is not super fast, but as you can see, it has a lot of range, which means that it's probably pretty good. It's going to be pretty good at catching people who air dodge, trying to get away. They can air dodge right into this, or still get hit by it after they air dodge, depending on which air dodge they choose and which place that you're covering. You can also hit this landing, which is pretty nice. That's usually a good sign with these sort of up airs. If you can hit them landing, that means their hitbox is a little more generous than some other characters. So overall, I think this move is okay. It's going to be solid for juggling. Unfortunately, all these aerials are going to run into the same problem where it's like, oh, well, this move would be good on someone that moved really fast through the air, but Kirby just happens to move really slow through the air. So you're going to have some usage for this. You're going to be wanting to use it, but it's going to be more difficult with Kirby trying to throw out this move. But on to Kirby's next move, which is Kirby's forward air. So this move isn't bad. This move can hit rising on even like the smallest characters. As you can see, this hits Pikachu right in the face. So this is going to be a solid neutral tool just to throw out, and then this is gonna like auto cancel basically, and which means you can act directly out of it. So this is gonna be a good neutral tool for Kirby. It's just to run up and throw out these forward airs out of a short hop, and then try to not get hit by their opponent as they take up space in that way. So this move is pretty decent, I think, pretty good. But it should probably primarily be used out of a short hop, just like I'm saying. I don't really see any point in trying to like fish out here or anything for these type of hits. I think this is purely for getting space in neutral, as well as like different combos you can do after like certain things where you combo into it with forward air. But other than that, let's move on to Kirby's next aerial. This back air. This back air is very good. It's very fast, as you can see, and this is also going to be used in neutral. This is going to be like safe shield pressure, and as you saw, this move is actually very strong. It's a very good kill move, and it could also combo at lower percents, as you're seeing there. But that's not its primary purpose. The primary purpose of this move is to kill opponents at higher percentages, edge guard, because this move is pretty good for edge guarding, and like safe shield pressure on your opponent when you space this back air. So overall, this move is very useful for those purposes. Unfortunately, Kirby's low airspeed limits how much this back air could be used. This back air could be used a lot more by Kirby if she just moved a little faster through the air, but the multiple jumps does help because you can throw out a whole bunch of these off stage and just really hope to hit your opponent. And if it does hit, there's a good chance they die. This move's strong and it's fast, so overall, pretty good move. Onto Kirby's down air. So this down air combos into smash attacks basically. You just have to know which way that they're going, and you have to do it properly. Something like that. I don't know exactly what's guaranteed out of that, but I know it can lead into like big things like smash attacks. I don't think you can like pull out the hammer or anything like that. That might be a little crazy. But this down air, also this is good off stage. It's actually a pretty powerful spike. When you hit this off stage, characters with poor recoveries will just die. You really need a good recovery to get back after being hit by that spike. So that's actually pretty good off the stage. On the stage, this is like, you can use this to cross up someone's shield, and if they don't have like great out of shield options, that could work. Otherwise, I think you should probably just use this, or also if you're going for a shield poke and your opponent's shield is low, this move can also be very useful. But overall, I think this move is used for like reading a certain amount of your opponent's options and trying to get an early kill, just by comboing that down air into one of these moves. So I don't think you're going to be using this move like all the time in neutral, but I do think you're going to see people throw this out like at least a few times per match. Maybe some worse players will really spam it to try to get those bigger conversions, but I see this being used a fair amount in play, but always for like more read situations or trying to shield poke, or maybe trying to cross up shield, even though that might not be the safest thing in the world. Alright, onto Kirby's jab, grab, and dash attack. So Kirby has a rapid jab, which is pretty nice because if your opponent gets stuck in the corner like that, you can obviously get a bigger punish, and that does a good amount of damage. So that's pretty nice. Just like most jabs, this will send into knockdown fairly early, and then you can get like these punishes off of it. So that's all good for this jab. It does have this nice feature where you can just hold A down. That's pretty solid. But overall, this move's just like it's like a standard jab almost. If you hit this on shield, it's not going to be safe at all. But if you get your opponent with it, if you read your opponent's going to neutral get up or something like that from the ledge, however you want to hit this, it is a good move to throw out when you're not sure what your opponent's going to do. Maybe you think they're going to spot dodge, maybe you think they're going to jump. This move can kind of cover a few of those options, so it's solid. And then after knockdowns, you can get pretty big conversions off of that. Onto Kirby's grab. So Kirby's grab is it's like interesting. This up throw, it doesn't really do much. I would say it's more of like a positioning type throw, but as you can see, like there's so much time before you can even interact that it's not really like a positioning type throw. Like you haven't really done all that much, just because you haven't like solidified a more solid position after you've done it, because your opponent can act so quickly out of it. So that's okay, I guess. I think at really high percentages that'll kill, especially if you're under like a top platform or something like that. That could be decent. But onto his other stuff. His forward throw combos at higher percentages, but not really at lower percentages. So Kirby like ends up after the move's finished like already bounced in the air. So you want to find these percentages where you can just short hop and forward air right afterward to get a conversion. And so that's Kirby's probably biggest combo throw, but it doesn't really do much at lower percentages, as I'll show you. It's just like, sorry, you can't really hit anything out of it. You can like try to fall with the forward air, but Pikachu could have shielded there. I know I'm pressing shield a lot against Kirby anyway, just because these grab conversions aren't all that great. But onto his next throw, that's just the same one. His back throw, this is one of those things where it's not gonna like combo into anything, especially at lower percentages, and it's gonna get you some positioning. So I guess that it's all right for that purpose. But overall, not much to this move. Just throws him backward and like you bounce in the air. So this is gonna be a big issue. I think I wouldn't want to play Kirby just because I don't want to get bounced in the air after my throws. I want to have a solid advantage state where I'm grounded and I have the most options. But that's just me. Onto Kirby's down throw. This gives a little more positioning, I guess, which is decent. But it also doesn't combo or anything like that. But overall, I guess it's decent because it does give some sort of positioning. But Kirby really lacks like super solid throw conversions. Onto Kirby's dash attack. This move was buffed a lot in this game, I think. Like it'll kill fairly early at the ledge and that sort of thing. As you can see, it's like a burst option. Like you go a little bit farther and a little bit faster than your opponent would expect you to. So this is used for like breaking your opponent's zone or something like that. It's like a common dash attack usage. It's not going to be safe on shield or anything, but this move can kill. It is decently laggy at the end of it, so you have to use it sparingly. But overall, it's going to be a decent option for Kirby once their opponent's at like higher kill percentages and they're trying to like camp them out. Sometimes you can only get through with the dash attack, and luckily it'll kill. So at least Kirby has that going for it. Alright, Kirby's tilts. Kirby's up tilt, I think, is pretty good. It hits really short characters, and I think it'll just lead into solid combo conversions. As you can see, I can kind of do this some sort of ladder thing. I mean, like it obviously wasn't perfect, and there's ways to optimize it. But having a throw like this, not a throw, but a tilt like this that sends in this direction is pretty good. Like this should combo into things pretty hard. But again, this is anti-air, so like so if you think your opponent's jumping, you're gonna throw out an aerial. This is a good thing to throw out. I wouldn't like run up like pivot forward up tilt. I mean, you could, and it might be decently safe if your opponent's not like it doesn't have quick reaction time. But if this shields, you should be able to get a punish off of it with most of the good characters in this game. But onto Kirby's next tilt. Alright, Kirby's next tilt is this forward tilt. I feel like I've been talking up a lot of forward tilts in the last few videos. I mean, not the Yoshi video, but this side tilt, I think, is going to be something Kirby's going to use a lot on the ground. Throughout this side tilt, as you can see, puts him in knockdown position, and so you can get a decent punish out of it. If spaced properly, this should be safe on shield, so it's all good there. So overall, you're going to probably use this move a lot if you're a Kirby on the ground, unless if you're trying to be in the air a lot, which I don't think is the smartest thing in the world. But yeah, this forward tilt's pretty good. It's a good thing to actually have something safe on shield and something that can get you solid knockdowns for attack chases and stuff. I mean, the conversions aren't going to be as big, probably, just with Kirby, because Kirby just doesn't have, like, a very explosive combo game or anything like that. But onto Kirby's next tilt, which is the down tilt. So this move, like, it'll, like, never knock down. I mean, as you can see, it does trip. That's a decent usage for it. It could be like more or less safe on shield. Um, but this move like it doesn't have any knockback growth either, so your opponent's gonna be put in like a familiar set of options. Obviously, if they get tripped, you have a confirmed conversion, but I'm thinking at higher percentages, it can lead into sort of like these 50-50 scenarios. As you can see, you just fly over there, or maybe it's confirmed at that point, just dash attack. So as you can see, that's a pretty poor position you put your opponent in. So that's pretty good. I don't know if all that's confirmed off of it at higher percentages or anything like that. But it basically puts your opponent in a 50-50 between like grab and spot dodge and dash attack, which might cover several, or you jumping in the air and down airing and getting an even bigger punish if you think they're going to spot dodge. So overall, I think this move's very good because it limits your opponent's options after you hit it. It's nice and quick, it's fast, and it should be safe. Onto Kirby's smash attacks. So Kirby's up smash is pretty fast, and it's decently strong. As you can see, at 100%, it should just kill. Obviously, DI wasn't doing anything. Like, there was no DI for that Pikachu, but still, the move is very strong. Killing, you can combo into this with neutral air and that sort of thing. You can hit this out of shield. It's not a bad option out of shield, as you can see. It's pretty quick out of shield. So like when you're on the ground and your opponent's trying to land, this is a good, should be a decent move to just throw out if you want like a bigger conversion or your opponent's at a kill percentage where this would kill. You might want to throw this out instead of an up tilt, and that's a decent usage for it as well. But overall, you're probably gonna want to use this out of shield and as enders to different combos such as falling neutral air or something like that. On Kirby's forward smash. This is the thing that's typically comboed into most by this down air, is this forward smash. It's very strong, it'll kill very early, and that's what causes a lot of Kirby players to just spam this move over and over. It's really not like an amazing, fantastic move, but you can get this sort of conversion out of it. This forward air is strong. As you can see, it moves very far, which can really trip up your opponent sometimes if they don't know what they're going up against. Like, you can cover neutral get up from here and stuff like that, or like you could try to cover both roll and neutral get up against certain characters. There's a lot of things you can do with this move, and the fact that it goes so far. Unfortunately, it is decently laggy, so you're not gonna be throwing this out too many times and getting away with it. Nothing like that. But for its purposes, for killing, the fact that things combo into it's nice. And the fact that it lunges forward like this and might break someone's zone is nice. So overall, it's a solid move for Kirby's forward smash. On Kirby's down smash, so this down smash is pretty fast on startup. There's a decent amount of ending lag though. So again, it's not something you can just throw out all of the time, just like, oh, like down smash, down smash, down smash. You're pretty vulnerable right on Kirby's head right there for someone to go like jump right over this move and just get a massive punish. I'm thinking like Pikachu's down air into like massive conversion, like, or like falling neutral air into lightning loops or something like that. So this is a good move to have. It's probably gonna be safe if you space it properly against a lot of characters. So it can be used for movement reads, roll behind, you don't know where someone's gonna land, etc. Probably for two framing as well. You could throw this out, but overall, you're not going to be wanting to use this a lot, because if you whiff this move, it's very punishable and it could practically cost you like a stock maybe. Onto Kirby's special moves. So you have this up B. And despite what online players might show you, you don't want to just be throwing this out in neutral all the time. Like, oh, like look at me. This move has too much lag. People can get in this range, like in the air, kind of beside Kirby, and then as soon as Kirby hits the ground, just punish Kirby because there's a decent amount of end lag at the end of this. At least that's how I would deal with this move. I thought it could be a decent out of shield option. Unfortunately, it just looks too slow, like too much startup. So I wouldn't use it for that. I wouldn't use it like on stage like this either. So I think you should really only use this move off the stage. I don't think this move is very good on the stage. But every now and then, as a mix up, and you want a projectile or something like that, I guess it's worth a shot if your opponent's just sitting there doing nothing. So I guess it's useful for that purpose, but I'd use this move very sparingly on the level. There's just too much lag to it, too much startup, and then too much lag at the end of it. All right, onto Kirby's side B, side special. It's this hammer. If you hold it for a really long time, it'll start giving you damage, but it gets stronger as you hold it. As you can see, it's a very powerful move, but it's too laggy. I'd never use this. This is just a gimmick where you just like jump around and you try to scare your opponent, and like maybe I fall for it sometimes or something like that, just because like I do, and I'm human and I make mistakes, and like everybody does. But if you're using this move, it's just a gamble. You're not relying on your skill to hit this move. You're just jumping around and hoping your opponent tries to make a mistake. So this move is not something you want to be using a whole lot. This is a move you want to be using practically never, I'd say, if you're playing against a really good opponent, because they're just going to be happy that you've pulled out this hammer and you're walking around with it and you're doing damage to yourself. And so like you're very avoidable with this too. You're just like, you slowly move around. I think this move's terrible, to be honest with you, unless if you like break someone's shield or something like that, or maybe you can use it to like read a get up option. But that's probably like not a very optimal way to ledge trap or anything like that. So on to Kirby's next special move. Kirby's next special move is this one. This is like the iconic Kirby move. You steal someone's powers, and it's pretty cool. This is like what makes Kirby like a fun character, in my opinion. And then from there, Kirby can either be a lot better or like not that much better at all. So with Pikachu, Kirby gets these Thunder Jolts, and that's pretty good. It's like Thunder Jolts are just such a good projectile. So when Kirby gets this, the character becomes a lot better, in my opinion. But again, you can't rely on people having like hats that you think are good to win games. So I don't really know how to advise you on using this neutral B. Obviously, against someone like Pikachu, you want to get it really badly. Maybe someone like Wolf as well, because that blaster is going to be pretty good. But other than that, I just like it's character by character. So if your opponent's got like a good projectile on neutral B, I really recommend trying to get that skin. If not, you can probably go without it, but you might want to get it as well. Onto Kirby's down B, which is her him or hers like transformation into a rock, basically. This move is probably going to be primarily used for landing. If your opponent's like right below you and they're not expecting that, you can turn into a rock and hit them, and it might kill them at higher percentages and that sort of thing, as you can see right there. But this isn't a move you should be using a lot. You should be trying to just like float away, get away as best as you can in disadvantage, and then throw this rock out like once every 100 times or whatever, just to mix up your opponent. I mean, not like every 1 out of 100, but when your opponent's not in a position to punish the area that you'll end up in after you use the rock, that's when you should use it. It's just not going to be all that often. So this move has very situational uses. It's not that great. You don't want to just like go right on top of someone and down B. This move is just like, I don't have a very high opinion of this move, but I see that there are some uses to it. If your opponent thinks you're going to do something else, and you can just become a rock and get out of a situation a lot easier. I see the utility in that. All right, on to Kirby's recovery, edge guarding, and how easily Kirby gets comboed. So Kirby's recovery really isn't that good. Like people think, oh, Kirby can get back from anywhere. Kirby's amazing off the stage. This is just a lie. Except like a lot of us have been told this, and I'm not sure where it came from. Kirby doesn't move that fast throughout the air. I mean, like you can throw out a few aerials and get away with it when you're trying to land to try to like get your opponent out of there. Someone like Pikachu's just gonna be able to run out in forward air, or run out in back air, or run out in down air, or run out in like up air into forward air or whatever. This character takes a long time to get back on stage. I have time to adapt, time to set up my edge guarding. So overall, Kirby players have to be careful about themselves off stage. I don't know why people think Kirby's recovery is free. It's really not. It's actually kind of poor. You can hit Kirby right out of that up B as well. So there's not a lot of things going for Kirby on the recovery besides just like tons of jumps. But when you move so slowly through the air, it really doesn't matter all that much. As far as edge guarding, the edge guarding's going to be decent. This back air is very good for edge guarding. The neutral air as well, the forward air to a certain extent, I'd use it less. And then also this down air when your opponent's going low is going to be very good. So I have the edge guarding for Kirby solid, I'd say, because of all these jumps. But you're still going to run into the same issue where you have to find yourself back on stage. So if you go for something a little more committal, you might just get reversaled and killed for it. That'd be super unfortunate. But overall, against recovery challenge characters, I think this edge guarding is pretty good. Against characters with really good recoveries, I don't think Kirby's going to really be able to do much, if at all. As far as how easily this character gets comboed, the character is very light, and it's fairly, like, fluffy, right? So, you can just kind of keep Kirby in disadvantage for a long time. Combo Kirby decently hard for the weight class, and then after that, keep Kirby in disadvantage and hopefully get a kill soon after. The weight's just not there. The size is a little too big. Just combo just gets comboed a little too hard for how heavy Kirby is, which like is just not that heavy at all. So that's something Kirby's have to watch out for. They don't want to play the long game where you like grind out like positional advantage, that sort of thing, because they're probably just gonna lose to other characters that have more damage output, that have better space controlling options. This is kind of a character you want to get like sort of explosive conversions for off stage, or like that down air into smash attacks. Unfortunately, Kirby doesn't even have the best moves to do that. So you can't just like beat your opponent, say an opponent of equal skill. You can't just beat an opponent of equal skill by playing Kirby like in a standard way you play a character, and it's going to be hard to win with like very explosive conversions just because Kirby doesn't have that many. So overall, you're just left with like a recipe to give yourself a hard time when you're playing this character, because you're gonna die early and you're not gonna think it's fair, and then you might quit the game because of how pissed you get. But I mean, if you love Kirby, stay with it. That's my opinion. If you love a character, stay with it because that's awesome. But if not, if you don't love Kirby, I suggest you stop playing the character. If you love Kirby, go for it and never stop, because your character says something about you in Smash Bros. And that's it. Alright guys, I wanted to share with you the plans for this channel going forward. So basically you're going to see more of these videos where I just kind of look at a character's moveset and what do I think players of that character should be doing in a match against me. And then later on I'll see if I was right by playing like online matches, and once I get a good sample size of that, I'll see, hey, maybe this is what the characters want to do, or maybe I was right all along. So kind of as a consequence of that, you will be seeing some highlights from my stream on here, just because that's where I'm going to get the information from when I make these character assessments later on. So speaking of my stream, come follow me at LiterallyDonate, and yeah, thanks for watching.